Mia, come on, Mama.
Come on, girl. Good girl.
There you go. There you go, baby.
All right, so we have tile floor here,
And that's all original.
and I would back at the time this flooring was put in. You think this might have been redone? You think it dates
No.
to the 1800s?
No, it shows on
Okay.
pictures that this is the original tile
Okay.
from when it was first opened.
I suspect each tile had to be hand placed
Yes.
in
Yes.
here. Very tedious
And I've tried
work.
to save as much as I could in my cleaning
Yes.
so that it also can be redone.
Okay. Well, at least that's all pretty much the same color.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to be concerned about trying to replicate. There we go. Had my camera in the wrong place. All righty.
And this is infamous for letting everybody know it's the wheat growers. That's the wheat.
Oh, yeah. We don't see shocks of wheat anymore, do we?
No. They're all baled, cut and baled. So you don't see the gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's are a lot of farmers and farmer laborers that are very glad to see the loss of wheat shocks,
You're right.
because rattlesnakes had a tendency to
Curl inside.
use them for shade.
Yes.
Protection from the elements, yes. All right. So this looks like a panel from probably a sign that was lit up,
It was.
I presume.
There was a gentleman in Colorado that purchased an empty building.
Okay.
And this was actually in that building.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't even know where it came from.
Wow.
So he got on the register, found out that he could contact Ed, called Ed and said, you know, I have a sign for your wheat growers, so if you want to come and get it, it's yours. So he went and drove to Colorado,
Wow.
and it was there. He brought it home.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, I see something in here that I think I want to bring up a little bit later. We'll save that kind of to the end. But I believe you are responsible for putting this little informational piece together here,
Yes.
which is showing the interior here where we are standing, and the way it used to look. It's been modified from that. What grand double staircases
That one down there is the basement.
Okay. Oh, wonderful arched bracing there for support.
And this is the Cunningham family.
Okay.
This is the grandma and the grandpa. This is Mr. Cunningham, which is also, that's him there. And then his two sisters.
Well, I'll say.
And that's the farm in North Carolina that they left. It's a mansion. It was just a plantation to come to Kimball, Nebraska.
Wow. Makes you wonder why people would want to uproot themselves from.
It makes me wonder how they even heard of Kimball, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Because at that time, we were just no roads. It was dirt roads, and it was just barely getting vehicles. One of the most special guests here was when General Eisenhower had been in Germany for his tour, or his tour of duty, and he was checking out all of their roads, their highways, their
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
So when he came back, he went to the White House and he insisted on taking a group and going from Washington, D.C., all the way through to, I know the West Coast, but I'm not sure which town, and checking all the roads. And him, his wife, her parents, all stayed here, which, you know, we have the Eisenhower suite up there.
Okay.
And this was when he was just a general still in the service.
Okay.
And he's the one that wanted to do something, bring roads out here to tie up with the railroad.
I see.
He was just
Now, the
adamant
Lincoln
that,
Highway had already been established
But
before that period of time.
but it hadn't been maintained. It was just basically the first major highway that was just kind of put there. It hadn't really been maintained.
It was called an improved roadway, probably
Exactly.
because they would throw a little bit of small gravel on top of dirt and kind of pack it down a little bit.
Yes, yes.
And with
so-
cars only being able to go 25, 35 miles an hour at the time that was put in,
Yes, and so
it's not
he
very damaging to the roads.
took an entire platoon, all the equipment and everything, and came on those roads to see how far you could go, how long they would
Yeah,
last, what would
yeah.
happen with weight on them. And when they got to Sydney, they were going to stay at Fort Sydney because he had like 300 soldiers with him.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Eisenhower said, my parents and I are going to go to that new hotel in Kimball. We're not staying here on base. We're going there. So, of course, he drove him and he was here with
Yeah.
them. And then he brought all of the platoon here. They stayed out at the fairgrounds, pitched tents, and they had all the room that they could use. And then he brought them here for a beautiful evening, grand food, music, everything.
Yeah.
And then they went back out. And he just made this kind of his special stop. Well, she did.
Well,
And
I'm sure there were a
this is
lot of
him.
other notable people that came through here as well.
Yes. This is him, and this is his wife.
Okay.
And that's them as their picture when they posed for this hotel when it was complete.
Wow. And it was a fine hotel. As a matter of fact,
Oh, it was
we
the grandest
saw
hotel.
the photographs there when it was in its grand state.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it is no longer like that because
No.
more modern renovations have done away with all that open space and this rounded balcony that has been all covered over there, as you can see.
Well, they're going to take down this working roof, and then you will see the balcony again.
Okay.
They just need to get the rest of the slath off.
Trying to get a wide angle shot here that is similar to some of the photographs, and it's kind of difficult. I've got just about the same type of exposure, not quite. All right, so where do we need to go to next? Where do you think the registration desk would have been?
That is the registration area.
Oh, okay, right in
Then when
this
they
little
came
alcove.
in, they could just stand here and see this gorgeous balcony
Okay.
and the staircases going up.
Okay.
And then it was extended out, and that was the registration desk. They would walk up,
okay.
the books. They didn't have computers in those days, so they had these big books. You sign in, then they give you a room and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what there was. Then you would either go up the steps to the second floor or the ramps into the bottom floor.
Okay. Very well then. Well, where would you like to go next?
Probably a tour through the rooms. Now, imagine that these are plush carpeted all the way up.
Okay.
Okay.
And I bet it wasn't that long
Shaggy.
shag. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I tell you what, that was so. It was great when it was brand new, but
Yeah.
once that stuff gets
Then
old, man, it's awful.
This is considered a suite. You want the light? This is considered a suite.
Okay.
It had its own shower and
yeah.
sink and plumbing. It had its own toilet bathroom over here. And then it had your bedroom. And you had everything here. You did not have to go out into the halls for anything.
Yes.
So
Didn't have to climb stairs.
no. And if you had the money and you were pretty productive, you could get this suite for 50 cents a night.
Oh, wow. And it
If-
even has an exterior escape door or entrance door, whatever.
And if you brought your family with you, the Cunninghams were very, very family orientated. So if you brought your family with you, you got 10 cents off of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
he was very family orientated. Now the next thing to show you are the doors. These actually had heaters in the room.
Okay.
They were hooked up in the little silver heater panels, and they had heat. But
Yeah.
they did not have air conditioning in this.
Yes.
They had, these are huge doors. This was a door. But they had the window up on top that would open out.
Oh, yeah. We
And-
don't see much of that anymore.
No. And they would get all of the air from out here.
I see.
Over here is this is a small room. This one simply had a sink, a bed, and this was your air conditioning. It had a window on it. You would open the window, and these fans would blow, and this is an open hole where it would come from the basement.
Oh, I see.
The heat
Yeah.
would come, the air would come from the basement's big blowers, and this would circulate it.
Okay.
And this was the only air conditioning. The only thing is, Mary, Jim, and Ryan shared the same air with you. So you open the window, you can talk to all of them. It's all open.
Oh, boy. How
Yeah. You shut your window if you want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
If you want to visit or just keep getting air, leave it open, but you listen to their conversations as well.
My. And it's like we've got dividers for each
Yeah,
room
this is the
here.
wall.
And what is this, about 12 foot by 12 foot or so here?
Pretty close, yes.
Okay. So these 4 rooms connected by the air handling system
Uh-huh.
are all about the same size.
Yep, they are. And this whole side in the middle is the same. Okay, this is the next set of 4.
Okay.
And your same panel, their same setting up
Okay.
for the air.
Oh,
And-
wow. So every room in here actually.
Well, every 4.
Okay.
Every 4 shared
Yes.
the air blower.
Yes.
Now over here, every single one of these had the little heater in them
Oh, okay.
along the wall there.
And these interior ones were not heated.
No,
It
they
appears
weren't
to be.
heated. They had the air. They had to
Oh, okay.
open their window to get the heat from that side.
I see.
And evidently it worked out just fine because they never had to reinstall anything. Now, in these 4 quadrants, you have no shower and no bathroom.
Yes.
So you have to come down the hall, out your door, down the hall, and these are the shower stalls.
Oh, okay.
Of course, there's a wall between all of them, so you have your
And
privacy.
actual showers, no tubs, I guess.
Nope, only showers.
I bet the ladies hated that.
I bet so.
Messenger video.
And then across are the toilets.
Okay. After these raised platforms,
Mm-hmm.
I presume. These platforms in the shower area was probably raised up because the plumbing needed in
To be,
between
yes,
the basement.
and hooked up to
Yeah,
everything down below.
yeah. Well,
He
I have
does.
noticed an excellent example of what we were talking about, but didn't have any way to show it off over at the old municipal power plant and
Uh-huh.
ice plant. We talked about knob and tube wiring.
Yes.
And here is some of that still in place. You here have
Mm-hmm.
a tube that goes over the actual wiring, and actually this is kind of newfangled because it's actually got insulation over the wire in addition to the tubing that is used for insulation as well. And these insulators are the knobs. When you talk about knob and tubing, insulators and tubing, to keep those wires separated, to keep it from starting off fires. And you
Yep.
can see that there is a lot of that right up here in the ceiling.
And yeah, all of the panels there still have it up.
Wow. Now, I imagine as renovation progress is
They'll
still
go
made
down.
on this building, it's not going to pass city code.
No. And here's where one of the sinks would have been. Your sink
Okay.
right outside of your shower.
Uh-huh. So these are the higher price
Yeah,
suites
these are the
then.
suites.
Yes, yes. That have the heat. So that sink does not look real fancy to
No,
me.
I've
The
got it,
knobs look kind of fancy maybe, but
and I have all of the originals downstairs.
oh
All
wow.
of the toilets.
Wow.
Ed has saved everything.
Oh wow, wonderful.
Yes.
And look like the light fixtures. There's one example up here that's still up here. Actually used 2 light bulb sockets. And we put a lot of light in this room, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is this another shower stall
Yes.
here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and these ceiling or these walls or ceiling is much higher here than what we normally see, and that was part of the climate control systems that was used a lot because hot air rises.
Right.
You
And
stay
then-
down lower, well then it feels a little bit cooler.
Right.
There's our shower stalls once again over here. And then we come this way.
We have a room
and
and a room, and then not a room here, but you can open the window to get some cool air while you're showering.
yeah. Wow.
And back here, this is not a room. This is part of the shower room, the toilets, where you can go in and undress and get. It was
A dressing room.
uh-huh.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
Then-
be careful here. We do have a full basement underneath, and I certainly don't want to find myself down
No, we
there.
have pretty much where it's really loose, or I mean really thin, blocked off,
Okay.
so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. This is the only area where I see any real structural damage. Here, we've got some bracing going on here. Looks like there was some water infiltration of some time that weakened some of these cross beams up here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's completely broken off. I'll get my finger in the right place here, right up here. It would have went across. And there appears to be some sort of a water pipe maybe.
Right.
Right in this same area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now we know where maybe that water would have come from.
Yeah, because there's bathrooms and everything upstairs as well on the
Okay.
next floor.
Okay.
And then when we go up, this is an easier step to take up.
Okay. All right, well, let's carry on.
Okay, let's go around to the walk.
Now, I would presume that there would be separate dressing room areas
Yes.
for males and
Yeah,
females.
that's what this would have been divided. And then that would have been one dressing room. This would be
Okay.
one dressing room.
Okay.
You want to go down that hallway? It's just exactly like this hallway.
That's fine. It is a duplicate. There's no sense in...
Yep, it's a duplicate.
Okay.
Then this used to be the grand down to the front, or the
Okay.
grand come up and then go up. And I painfully took all the nails out of all these boards so nobody would get snagged.
Oh, yeah. Good thinking. That stucco and lath, man, that is something else to have to deal with these days.
Mm-hmm. Now these again, see all your big pipes and all your
Yes.
shower rooms and bathrooms.
Yeah.
And I believe across the hall was the dressing rooms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks like sewer pipe there. For the toilets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then again, this would be a suite. You have your own shower. And then you'll have your sinks and toilet over here.
Wow, that's pretty far separated, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Wow. And this appears to be like uh, about 40 feet long, 45 feet long,
Yeah,
maybe 15 feet across.
wide. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And in those days, this was huge.
Yeah.
This was like a unbelievably huge
Yeah.
room.
Fairly large these days.
Mm-hmm. So, you know what? I think they shared this shower. I was looking at that.
Yeah, I was kind of
And
wondering
this
that
is
too.
one unit, and this
Yes.
is one unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was kind of the impression I had as well.
And that must be
And
the bathroom for this unit.
right. So we have one large suite area over here, and then right here we have another shower. Looks like it might have been shared.
For those two
So,
rooms.
okay.
I know when it was first built, there were 68 rooms.
Okay. Let's see. There is more attic up here
Yes.
than what is noticeable at first. You almost have a third story up there, although looks like the roof is angled somewhat.
Yeah, and it's just on that side, between those two sides, is
Right.
your storage space.
So was that an access to the roof at one time?
It might have
Do you
been.
think,
I think that I know the doors did open up out there, the original doors.
Okay.
So it
okay.
might have been.
There wouldn't have been any like rooftop area that people could get up there.
No, that's why they had the yard, the
Okay.
deck
Okay.
for them to go sit at.
Alrighty. And then on the interior, we have this theme of 4 rooms sharing a common air handling system.
Yep. And the same thing with these, the big doors. They had the
Right,
space heaters in there. Not space heaters, those metal.
Radiators.
Thank you, radiators.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, going that far back to 1914, were they using asbestos much in construction?
I don't think so, because we didn't run into any when they were tearing all this out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't see any evidence
No.
of any in here, so.
And see, here is where this was the beautiful deck.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had tables there, and it was just so elegant. And then this was put in. This is just simply a work floor. This was put in just to be able to tear all this stuff out.
Okay.
They could, it was all
yeah.
open. So in order to tear all that lath and all that everything out,
Right.
they had to put the work floor.
Otherwise, you'd have had to put in scaffolding.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
didn't. They just threw this in, threw it together, and started tearing it all
Okay.
out.
Well,
We had a few little kids that broke into
Oh.
party,
yeah.
little spray painters,
Yes.
and that broke our hearts because that's an actual mural painted into the wall. But then I got a hold of some people at the library, and they told me what to get, and I can remove the red without destroying the picture.
Oh, wow.
And
that can be
the
done.
signature and everything. And that's not on a board or anything. It's drawn right into the wall.
I'm now standing
Now
on
this-
top of where the registration desk would be. And of course we have this rounded area at the very tip. And so back in the day, all of this would have been open. With the exception,
Of the
course,
walkway
of the
here.
walkways to get to each rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this suite here is the infamous Eisenhower suite.
Oh,
This
wow.
is where General Eisenhower, his wife, stayed here, and then in the adjoining was his mother-in-law and father-in-law,
Okay.
her mother and father.
Wow.
And they stayed here for 3 years, and they even had a plaque at one time saying the Eisenhower suite.
Wow.
And they had a beautiful view outside.
So there was actually 3 rooms, it looks like, connected together in these suites. Had the, I guess this might have been a shower here, but it could have been shared by this room, it looks like. And then they have a small door frame here, and then a much larger opening here, which
Right.
would make this
And so I
much more
believe
open.
here was the toilet and the sink area.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And then they had the view of the. Now, when I came into the picture to help my brother out, you couldn't see this at all. It was nothing but weeds. I actually lost my dog in the weeds.
Oh my.
It was horrible. It was halfway up to the fence, all the way around. The fence was, I painted the fence
Okay.
so that it would be, and then we cleaned all that up and showed that we actually have a patio out there.
Yeah.
Then I painted that building over there because it was just eyesore
Wonderful.
for the city as well. So, but yeah, this is the Eisenhower and family room.
Okay.
And we still have people that when I give tours, that's the first thing they want to see.
Oh, okay. Now I have a question that has come to mind. And that would have been if they served food, where was the kitchen in the dining area?
In the basement.
In the basement.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll take a tour
All
there
right.
too. And the actual kitchen is still there. And I'll show you that.
Oh, wonderful.
The actual ovens and
Okay.
everything, they're pretty
Oh,
darned old.
wonderful.
Yeah.
A lot of that equipment
Cool.
is still here.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you did state earlier that your brother has taken a lot of stuff out of here and stored it away someplace
Yes.
so it won't get damaged.
Yes.
It'll be-
Yes, so that he can have the, anybody that wants anything original, he will let them have it. If they don't, then he's going to preserve it.
Yes.
And see, here we go with the fans again for the cooling.
Yep, yep. This looks like it might, let's see, a fan here. So it's been covered over up there. And as we look down here, we can see that fan below us now on the first floor. And it appears this is almost like a ladder type deal to get up to do some maintenance or something.
they needed
up there
to.
on the top. So there must be some sort of a storm covers. I forget what that is that you normally put over pipes and stuff.
Right.
So that when a storm comes along, you don't get a bunch of water coming down the spout.
And if it breaks, it doesn't shoot out.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's more of your conduit.
Yes, ma'am. Well, do you think that we're going to leave some of these laths in place or replace these laths and go back
No,
to stucco? or-
we're going to take all of that down. And my brother and I have been working it slowly.
Okay.
But we're going to take it all down so that they can rebuild how they want.
Right, right.
So,
And something else I haven't really brought out, I believe these are true 2x4 studs. They have not been finished out, so they're more like 3.5 by 1 3/4 inch
right.
2x4s that you see today. These are all rough sawn here. They have not been finished out really. Well, on this side looks like it's a little bit smooth, But there's always one side that looks like that it's
It's
still
yeah,
rough.
yeah.
Yeah. And you don't find this quality of wood any longer either.
No, well, you do downstairs. We have it in the basement.
Oh, well,
We've
okay.
saved all over the original.
Right, right. Well, you're not
But
going to
yeah,
find it
in
at
a
Home Depot.
right. No, you're not.
Oh, yeah. I saw one other electrical outlet someplace. And
Yeah, at
see the
one
back
point in
of this
time, they
one.
had, in the 50s, I believe, they had electricity put in.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
and
that
then
would have
when,
been quite a job because I see these
not all the way through
wires
it.
are going through studs and all.
Yeah.
They'd have really had to tear out quite a bit of wall.
I don't know if they
in order
tore
to-
out anything. I think they just put in special along the way. At one point in time, there was a gentleman that was working out at the airport. He was a big shot out there, and he was in the process of buying this building, redoing it, and it wasn't tore down like this. It was still a decent building. Making rooms upstairs, and having a aviation school here,
Oh,
and using the basement as the workshop to work on the planes,
I see.
the parts and stuff.
Wow.
But then the job out here folded. He couldn't. He didn't have a job then, so he just threw his hands in the air and said no and walked away.
Oh, well.
So, but it was his guys, his aviation boys, that actually started tearing down the lath and hauling it out in chunks.
Well.
And that saved us
bit of work.
$100,000.
There's more of those little pesky nails you were
Yeah.
talking about earlier.
Yeah, I've got to come up
Wanna
here and
brush up
start.
against those.
No, because they'll snag you. Oh, this building it just warms my heart. It's got so much potential.
Yes.
It's not, ruined. It's got potential if you just had backers to do it.
Now, we don't have the dressing rooms replicated the same way that they were set up downstairs, do we?
No.
Yeah, yeah. And something that just occurred to me, we haven't seen any housekeeping storage areas so far.
Downstairs. The laundry room is
Okay.
down there as well.
Okay, very good.
Yes. Yep.
So upstairs is all living quarters, it
Yes.
appears to be.
Yep.
Okay.
This was all for the people, not for any servants.
Looks like this is one of the few shower stalls that still has the tile on it. Mm-hmm. Or in it.
Yep, there's one.
I noticed this corrugated tin here. It's kind of set up in a way,
No, you're fine.
which provides some privacy. Mm-hmm. Not allowing other people to actually see you.
And there's a lot of that downstairs too.
Okay.
So. Oh, I was going to take you down. Well, we can go down these stairs if you promise not to fall.
Okay.
They took the handrail on the top section out.
Oh, okay. Here's what I was looking for.
Okay.
An actual outlet. It's been damaged a little bit. But you can notice there's no grounding hole. It's just a two-prong outlet there.
Okay, go, Mama. Come on.
Can you make it, girl?
Oh, yeah. She usually passes me. Go, Mama. Right now, she's in her protective mode. She's backing me up.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about the tape down here.
Yeah, I just step
So we
over.
can scoot around it. There we go.
All right. Now, see, this little brick building was there. Here's some of the heater things.
Oh yeah. Yep, I've seen those monsters before.
Yep. My grandparents had those in their house, but they lived at the Sioux Army Depot in Sydney.
Oh, okay.
Grandpa worked for the government.
Yeah, those look like the ones I'd see in places like post offices and
Right,
federal
right.
buildings, one thing and another.
Now this is all original too, and it's actually intact, except for the door frames. Now this one has always amazed me. There, at one point in time, they had a